Okay, Battletech enthusiasts, the most iconic mech in the game. The Marauder, the Warhammer, well, actually the title to this vlog, this podcast, as you found it, kind of gave it away. I want to share with you my experiences with the Urbanmech, a mech that I enjoy playing, a mech that works very, very well, and an icon of the Battletech universe on there. Now, I wish I had some like grand tactical plan, hidden, amazing way of using it, like a new and unique way of using the Firestarter. There are certain mechs that are so specialized, like the Firestarter, where if you can leverage that special aspect, I'm not talking about like burning everything in sight, but if you can utilize some of those aspects, it can potentially become a game changer because your opponent might not be ready for it. The Urbanmech is not like that. But from playing the Urbanmech, I have noticed a trend, and it goes two ways. You're going to have a good time doing it, playing it, so it's worth the price of admission to your gaming collection. But there's also this chance for a certain type of technology running where tactically it presents some very, very interesting opportunities. So we have a light mech. Battle value, kind of the stats really quick. The scorecard. Battle value, decent. Armor, well, it's a light mech. Small laser, the autocannon. Not a lot of rounds on the autocannon for what it's going to do, but it has some decent punch. Is there anything slower than the Urbanmech? Talk about underpowered speed. So a light mech is must have speed, and it doesn't have speed. Must have jump capability, doesn't have jump capability. Although someone out there, one of you guys out there has like, you went into the mech builder and you were like, Fritz, I've got like the Urbi of Doom. It's legal, it's street legal, packs an autocannon 20 and has jump jets, like some obscure combination. But stock, it doesn't have jump. And the only other thing you'd say with a low battle value, if it doesn't have jump and it doesn't have speed, it better have a massive gun for its weight class or something that puts out massive damage, like an LRM-20 or something. It has an autocannon, which decent damage 10, decent range, but there's no redundancy on there. It's literally hit or miss. So how do we utilize the Urbanmech? This is how I was using it because the scorecard's not that impressive. I have the Urbanmech in my Dogs of War. That was my first mech warrior company that I built, and I wanted a diverse amount of mechs. I have my favorite mechs that I like to play, but the idea was to fill out the mercenary company with as many different mechs as possible. So this way I can mix and match or just pull in some different stuff to play, depending on the mission. No real strategy, no real build to it. Kind of a little bit of everything. And then I built a more competitive type mercenary company, Grey Death Legion, and made it very competitive. And then my third mech company, I'm on my fifth right now, my third was the Crimson Hands. And the idea here was with this mercenary company had some very, very specific themes running through it. Mostly energy mechs, not a lot of ammo on there, heavy infantry support, mechanized air support, everything. But I wanted to take the Urbanmech for the lulls. I wanted to throw down the Urbi, and so I was willing to go a little bit extremes tactically, but for the lulls, I wanted to throw down the Urbi and play him on the table and see what happens. Just for fun, just for why the heck not, it's Battletech. And what I started to notice over playing him was everyone ignores. It's the Highlander Effect. You know, when the McLeods are fighting the Frasers and the Kurgan has made part of the deal to just, McLeod is his, Connor is his. And it's like, fight me. No one will fight him on there. So the Highlander Effect of everyone running away, that was the effect over numerous games with this Urbanmech. Players were like, doesn't do any damage, does not go anywhere, it's an Urbanmech. I got bigger things to shoot. I got more important things to shoot. Infantry are more terrifying than this mech. I can completely ignore it. And in ignoring it, it was like super invulnerable. It was like, well, it was a free autocannon shot every turn. But what I found was if I can get myself in position on the table, beginning of game, mid-game. It's going to take a little while for Urbi to get there, even running. The only thing slower is what? A behemoth tank. At least that's 100 tons, and it's got a weaponry everywhere on there. But what I realized was if I can get that Urbi into position, the Highlander effect will happen. No one will shoot at it. No one will be bothered with it. And not only is it a free autocannon shot of return, but some really, really interesting opportunities. It's just like sightseeing, examples over games. Getting side shots, getting rear shots on mechs, getting side motive possible shots on vehicles, buildings taking damage, and medium and heavy mechs with jump capability jumping up on said building, and Urbi from across the table, like, pew, just shoot, take the building down, and it crashes. All sorts of just wacky stuff that is presented because your opponent dismisses it. So this led to a refinement where I realized if I quickly identify at the beginning of the game, where does Urbi need to be? Where will he have the most reach? Where can he leverage this? Get there, and then wait. I have no plan beyond that. I have zero plan beyond that. It's just waiting and seeing what you give. Now, tactically, I needed to keep 2 or 3 other things in mind. The Urbanmech is going to get there. I am not moving because it took me forever to get there. And since I only have one shot, and it is a target of opportunity that I'm shooting at, something interesting, potentially something interesting to happen, I need to connect with it. So I need to cut down on my movement modifiers. I can't necessarily control range. I can't control your hex movement modifiers, but I can control how much I move. So it has to be in a place where there's no running or walking. Likewise, if I take some heat back, if I take some fire back, then I do want some terrain or something to block. So can I get behind, I was going to say some trees. Can I get behind some trees? Can I get behind some buildings? Can I get behind some rock outcroppings? Something to give me that bonus I'd get if I could actually run effectively, a +1 or a +2 for running. Can I get that for cover? From there, it's just firing away. Now, at some point, those other mech warriors, they're going to get pissed. They could take a couple of shots from the Urbanmech. Okay, I could take one AC-10. But then something's going to happen, like you're going to get a critical hit, or you're going to blow an arm off, or you're going to headshot a grasshopper, and they're going to be like, what? And dead. What? And that Urbi's going to bring a lot of hate. I'm not going to run, because there's nowhere to run to. I'm certainly not going to pull off other mechs to deal with it, because the other mechs are doing what they got to do, and they're going to run for an Urbanmech. So I need to have this duality of where can I be on the table that I get okay cover. This is the checklist. Where can I be on the table that I have the scope of the battle? Usually it's the center of the table, because at least that's going to give me fields of fire straight ahead, to the left, and to the right, allow me to engage a variety of targets. So when something interesting happens, I can take that shot. And then where can I be that I'm out of the way from the mission, based on the mission, and where can I be so that I'm out of the way of my other mechs, so when that opposing mech warrior gets pissed off, when that awesome mech gets pissed off and is like, enough with the mission, enough with this battle master I'm dealing with, I'm going right after the Urbanmech. That it is going to run, where am I on the table that, so in engaging the Urbanmech and getting to danger close point blank so you can blow it up in one turn and then crush it and just do a little dance on it, that, hey, you're taken out of the rest of the battle. You're taken out of the scope of the mission. You're taken out of the support of your other lance mates. In doing that, the battle value alone was the price of admission. So in a way, the scorecard, Urbi's like, really? But tactically, Urbi might be the most tactical mech in this very subtle, this very technological type way in the game.